Well, in full disclosure, I knew Jodi for a few years before we engaged her to work through real estate, and actually that's one of the very reasons that we hired her in the first place. Jodi used to work at the YMCA of North Suburban YMCA in Woburn, and where I was a member, and then I became on the board and the chair of the board of advisors, and so I did know her, and one of the reasons that I hired her because she just embodied trust and respect and ethics and just being a very nice person. So that was like she had that edge, and that was why we hired her. And we worked with Jodi on two occasions. One, to sell our big house in Winchester. Our kids were gone, empty nest, and there was a lot of money tied up because we lived tied up in that house because we lived there for a long time. And so Jodi helped us for about a year, helping us, plan to, obviously we had to get rid of a lot of stuff and duplicates, and we had to do some, minor repairs and fix-ups and stuff, and actually some of them were not so minor. And Jodi gave us some very good recommendations in terms of what were good priorities in terms of the things to invest to fix in and to get the house looking top grade A prime. And sure enough, when the year was said and done, as we did all the preparation to get rid of stuff and to fix stuff, she made some good recommendations about pricing strategies, which everything worked out absolutely perfectly. And then after we sold this house, we were living for a couple of months in a house that we have in New Hampshire, just to keep out of the way of the painters and the floor polishers and everything. And we stayed in that house until Jodi helped us buy a second house, a smaller house. We downsized to a house in Woburn, which is beautiful. It's not very small. It's big enough so we need, the flexibility of people coming from out of town and everything. And it's perfect, but it's clearly a downsize. And it's a wonderful, wonderful house. And she made sure that everything went smoothly with that transaction as well. And Jodi and her husband Dave have become personal friends over the years, and I'm very proud to have them as personal friends. And a comment about Jodi's professionalism: she's very considerate, she's respectful, she's on top of everything. It seems like she works 20 hours a day. We felt like we were her only client. Obviously, the businessman in me knew that that was not the case. That could not possibly be the case. But still, we felt that way. And I'm no expert in real estate, but I'm not naive and a beginner either. I've had probably a dozen real estate transactions in my life, and I was on the condominium trust board when I lived in a condo years ago. So I'm not totally blind about it, but Jodi really gave us some very good advice. And my advice to who's ever working with Jodi: if she has some advice for you, take it, because it's usually the right thing to do. Makes totally the most sense. She knows what she's doing. Jodi is not pushy at all, but if she has some advice, it's usually on very good ground. So I advise anyone working with Jodi to listen to her, because she knows her stuff.